Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Loyal Subjects BST AXN's Buffy the Vampire Slayer series Angel. Now, since we did Buffy last week, you could be certain that Angel wasn't going to be too far behind. It's like peanut butter and jelly. If peanut butter and jelly was like a TV show with teen angst and awesome vampire action and cool killings and storylines and all sorts of weird stuff, but I digress. We are here to talk about the toy and not the show. So, taking a look at the box, you can see it is a nice open window box. You have ages 8+ here at the top. You have BST AXN and the BST features, BST Articulation, BST Assortment. Here you have a nice logo of Buffy the Vampire Slayer there. You have BST AXN logo here. Whew, that's a twister. You have Angel looking all moody. You have Buffy the Vampire Slayer here. You have the toy with all the accessories. You have his name, Angel. On this side of the box you have nothing. On this side of the box you have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you have a nice picture of Buffy there. BST AXN here, and BST features, BST Articulation, BST Assortment. On the bottom of the box you have credits for the box and a barcode, nothing that interesting. And finally that brings us to the back of the box where you have a nice Buffy the Vampire Slayer logo there, the BST AXN, and then the features, Articulation, and Assortment. And if we zoom in real close, we can see that they have a nice read-up of Angel, so you can pause the video, read that to your heart's content, but we must be moving out. If we look over here, we see a nice render of the action figure and his vampire face in the background. That's pretty neat. 31 points of articulation with a few highlights of the articulation right below it. You see multiple accessories here. You have incredible sculpt and details, and some more credits for the box down here. So that is pretty much the box, and no one wants to see this guy in the box. I know I don't. So let's get Angel out and see what he can do. And here we have Angel out of the box. And out of the box he stands just a tad over 5 inches tall, and he comes with a nice background, the same background that we saw with the Buffy, with all the cast hidden in the background. And he comes with a BST AXN sticker. This is really nice. We can stick that somewhere. And for accessories, he comes with an alternate head, extra pair of hands, an axe, and a sword. But before we take a look at that, I would like to take a look at Angel himself. And coming real close in on Angel, you can see it's not exactly photoreal technology that we're dealing with here. It's basically I don't know, kind of a generic face, and you have a little bit of the characteristic details that you would find with Angel. Zooming out just a little bit, you can see he has some nice brown hair, very spiky at the front. He has some nice normal eyebrows and some dark eyes. A nose and lips look a little purplish burgundy to me. Coming down, nice neck there, and then his outfit is mostly black. It has a coat here, which is actually one piece that can come off, and I think you could get away with taking this off as opposed to the Buffy one, because I think his sleeves would look, well, they'd still look coatish, but I don't know, we'll look at it. And then coming down to some black pants, and his hands are nicely done, and you can see he actually has some ring detail on there. Let's see if I can close in on there. So yeah, so we're saying that that's probably going to be his clotter rings that he gave to Buffy, so that's pretty neat. Black pants, I don't know if they're black leathery pants. I mean, up here is a little glossy, but then they come down to like a mat here for the upper thighs and then the knees and the legs, but we could pretend they're leather. Then we come down to the shoes, which are actually two-toned. You have brown here at the front. Let's see if we can get that into focus a little bit. Focus on the foot, on the foot. So yeah, got some brown for the front and then some black for the back and the top. So that's pretty neat for a shoe, as it were. And coming far out, what we can do is take another look, and to remove this jacket, you just need to lift his arms up. I was never good at this. Never had dollies. That was more of like a girly thing. Yeah, I'm being sexist. I never played with the Barbies, and I never had dolls where you take their clothes on and off, unless it was a cape, and that was just a clip on the back of their neck. But anyway, okay, so here's Angel without his coat, and I guess it looks alright. The sleeves are a little heavy and look kind of thick, but it'll work, because he was usually always in black anyway, so that is cool. And that is what Angel looks like. And for Angel's articulation, starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. It can move down a little bit, it can move up a little bit, and it can get a little bit of wiggly waggly, but not too much. Basically, you're going to be able to go all the way around and kind of a little bit up and a little bit down. So that's where your head rotation is going to be. He does have butterfly hinges here at the shoulder, so they'll go in and out. So that's pretty neat. Buffy may have had those too. I just didn't look and take off her coat so we could actually see them. The arm will go all the way around here at the shoulder, 360 degrees. It can go out a bit and in a bit. So that is good. He does have a bicep swivel all the way around 360 degrees. He does have a nice elbow bend, double hinged, which is really good. A lot of articulation for this small thing. That's what I noticed about these figures with the Buffy. Hand will go all the way around 360 degrees and pop off. But actually, with it off, you can see that it is also on a hinge, so it can go up and down, in and out. It's not supposed to, when it's in the slot. There you go. And coming down to the chest articulation, he does have 2 points of articulation up here at the upper diaphragm. It will go all the way around 360 degrees, and lower here at the actual waist you do have a waist swivel, which will take him around 360 degrees. So that is a lot of good movement there. Coming down to the legs will go up, not too far, and they can't go back at all because the butt will get in the way there, so not going anywhere. Out to the side just a hair, so thigh swivel all the way around 360 degrees, and a double knee joint. So that is cool. It's not, and this knee joint is kind of segmented right here in the middle because you have 2 little parts, so that's interesting. So bring that back down. And coming down to the foot, the foot does go around 360 degrees, and it is on a hinge that you can't really see, so it will go down a little bit and up a little bit. So there you go. And that is Angel's articulation. And for Angel's first accessory I want to take a look at, he has an alternate head. And this thing is creepy. You can see this is his full vampire head. You have his spiky hair still, and you have these nice ridges on his above his eyes, which give the form of his vampireness. Has a nice open mouth, and those fangs, those are really nice. They're actually sculpted in there, so if you stick your finger in there, he could butt you. Ow! Yeah, and then he has some nice yellow eyes. I'm not sure if those are coming across on the camera, but yeah, those eyes are nice and yellow. So this is really, really cool. So take a picture of him, what he looks like with his alternate head. And that is awesome. Love that look. So yay! Moving on. And for Angel's next accessory, we have this pair of alternate hands, and they are done in kind of a creature grab you kind of thing. You almost look like talons. I don't think they actually are, but definitely have the potential if you want to kind of sharpen them down or maybe get some paint or something. I'm not sure. You can see that he does still have his rings on there, so that is really neat. So get a quick picture of what he looks like with his claw hands, and you gotta have the vampire head. So yay, there you go. That is creepy. So is it Angel? Is it Angelus? We don't know. Well, all I know is it's cool and awesome. All right, moving on. And for his next accessory, he has this nicely done 2-sided axe. It's done with a little bit of silver here at the top and some black. for the handle, so it is really, really good. It has a lot of good detail. I like this blade, and that's really, really shiny. And he can hold it very well, and he can do some good killing and chopping with that, so I love it. All right, that is his axe. Moving on. And for Angel's final accessory, he has this nice silver sword with a little bit of gold here for the hilt, and the handle made up of gold and black. So I would like to say this is the sword that he pulled out of the demon Akathla in the season 2 finale, where Buffy had to stab this through him and send Angel to hell. So that was kind of a sad tear-jerker moment, and we never knew how that would turn out, but we knew we were so sad because that was just the worst. So yeah, he can hold this really well. You can see him holding it there, and he could attack and chop and do all sorts of swinging things. Now, interesting thing before I go about this sword, it is kind of a soft plastic, so you have to kind of mold it and kind of put it in a certain way, or else it's going to seem kind of bendy. I mean, it's not exactly flimsy, and you can get it to where you want it, but you may just have to work a little bit at it. Okay, moving on. And for comparison, here you have Angel with Buffy. And, well, I don't know if this really works. I mean, I know in the show Buffy was really short and Angel kind of towered over her, but in the figure form, if we get the real close, you can see that, like, Buffy kind of comes up to his forehead. You know, because you on the cheek because you're so small. Yeah, I don't really like this size comparison. I think Angel's a little short, or Buffy's too tall. And when it comes to like action figures, the scale, I think, is kind of important, especially if you're doing in the same line. So I really don't like this at all. This is going to be the only comparison that we have, and it's kind of a bummer, I think. All right, moving on. And this has been the Loyal Subjects BST AXN Buffy the Vampire Slayer series Angel. And I really enjoyed playing with this figure. He had a lot of good attributes to him. I liked the way he looked, the sculpt, the articulation. He didn't exactly scream David Boreanaz, like I said before, but, you know, he had a lot of the major characteristics that you would need if you're going to create like a little Angel figure. He was a spiky-headed vampire dude, and he wore black. So, hey, what else do you need, right? Again, the articulation was good. However, after playing with it, his left arm doesn't feel as tight as it used to. It is very flimsy now, almost to the point where I feel like the arm is going to come off. And there was a bit of paint missing from the sword, but I can live with those things. But what really bothered me about this figure was the scale in comparison to Buffy. Buffy was really, really too big. And if we could just bring her in again and taking a look at it, she is really too big. I think they may have done her in just a 0.5 different scale when they were making her mold. But, you know, of course, there are precedents to her being bigger, because back in the day, you would have toys where the leader was always the biggest one, like Thundercats. Remember, Lion-O was huge compared to the other Thundercats. So that may have been what they were doing here, but I don't think so. I think they just got the scale off, and it just bothers me. So, I don't know. If they make more of these, maybe they'll do an Angel line, because, you know, he left Buffy the Vampire Slayer and went off and had his own show. If they do an Angel line, I'll take a look at that and see. Hopefully they would be in scale, but for the most part, this guy's alright. I did enjoy playing with him. And if you're looking for this guy, you can find him in the electronics departments of your Targets and your Walmarts, and he usually goes for about 15 to 16 bucks. Happy hunting with that. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good night. And until next time, keep playing.